What up?
is basically just the strength aspect, um, and which is obviously and what for a competitive player, I want to say it's the biggest thing. If you want to play competitive baseball, we do have the Dallas Fort Worth coaching staff in here that's joining in, as well as maybe the Vegas staff, and then one of my good friends who is one of the pitching guys with the Phillies has joined in to kind of watch in and see what we're doing with this. Um, for the players and families that are joining in with us, the coaching staff within CBA, Drew Walsh is the training director at our facility here in San Diego. Um, which with COVID we just got shut down today again by our governor. But we've been aiming to provide remote services for our players in our program for since January, and this has been a project that we've been working on since then, and have finally got to the point where we're able to provide a viable remote training option, which for the El Paso guys is exactly what they need. So Drew, thanks for making time today. Players, parents, thank you for making the time. Everybody else I've kind of invited in, thanks for taking the time to kind of to listen in or watch. If you are at a computer. All right. So basically, let me see here. I'm going to try to do a screen share with you guys. And I'm going to show you all where you can. Let me see, where's my screen share? Okay. So here's a screen share. I think this is the first time I've ever done a screen share. So let's see here. Actually, it looks like I got to go ahead and do some system or some system preferences stuff on my computer. But Drew, if you wouldn't mind just taking some time to kind of introduce yourself while I figure this part out. And then I can go ahead and you're on mute. There you go. Hold on.
To each and every one of you for am I unmuted, Coach?
You just unmute. You're unmuted now.
Fantastic. I'll start that over again. Drew Walsh here. Joe, thank you for having me. Coaches, thanks for tuning on. Everyone, thank you for your time. I'm from New York. I moved out to San Diego a few months ago and fortunately connected with Joe, where I work out of his Legends Athletic Performance Facility in San Diego. And it's been a really, really awesome experience so far. Getting to meet all the CBA players down in San Diego and all the high-level talent that's there. And really excited to be part of this project to bring what we do in our facilities to all of you guys. And that's something that's really special. And we've been working on this for a while too. Not everyone has the means to get to a facility, or there may not be facilities around, or it's just not, they don't have the resources to do so. So for CBA to step up and identify a glaring weakness and provide something like Legends 365, it's truly going to be something special for you guys. And we talk about this a lot, especially now with the current circumstance of the nation with COVID and the shutdowns. Things are definitely slowed down and there's definitely challenges ahead, but we still have to take care of business and prepare ourselves to play at the next level. And I know you guys signing up with CBA El Paso, you're not trying to just be a middle of the road player. Each and every one of you has aspirations to play at the next level. So with this app, Legends 365, it's a portable gym, and portable is subjective to you guys. So we understand everyone's busy, right? We all have chaotic schedules and we can't make it everywhere all the time. So this app allows you the freedom to train whenever you can. And there's no stress. You have to be here at XYZ. You can't be late. You could work out at your own leisure, and we're going to break this down and get into it in a few moments. But I'm really excited to get started with you guys and take what we do in the facility and branch it out to the rest of you guys.
Okay. Yeah, and to kind of piggyback off that, just this is something where, just within California alone, we have a lot of players that don't have access to the facilities or access to the trainers at the facilities. So, but they still participate with our program. The problem with training that's offered out there is not necessarily geared towards athletes per se, and it's not in baseball specifically. It's very hit or miss if you're going to find somebody at a sports performance facility to provide a good opportunity to get stronger in a baseball way. You can get a trainer at your local gym, and yeah, you may see some gains or see some results in how you look. But just one of the best words of advice I received from the scout who signed me with Atlanta was, I remember one off season, I just came home and just started getting after that LA Fitness over here. And he goes, "Hey, just want to remind you, you're not a bodybuilder, you're a baseball player, and there's a difference." And he kind of got in depth with it about me, and that's kind of what I relay to our guys. It's about how you perform, not necessarily about how you look. It's not necessarily about you'll hear it all the time. Guys need to get bigger, stronger, faster, all that stuff. I don't just to kind of shed some light on this, it's not about how much you weigh. It's about how athletic you are, how well you move. Obviously strength comes into a play, but it's not a matter of, let's see how much weight we can put on our back and how much we can squat and how much we can bench and all that stuff. That's a completely different type of strength. We do also have some college coaches in here as well who are listening in or watching in, and we tend to have that during our workshops to kind of chime in as needed. But I don't know if you guys can see. I tried to figure out my screen share. Can you see my screen okay, Drew?
I can. Coach Rubin's on top of it. Someone mentioned they couldn't hear you. I don't know if it's just Dustin Davis in particular or everyone can't, but I think.
You hear me? I think it's Dustin Davis. He might just need to turn his volume up.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, you're good, Joe. Everything's working.
Okay. So I'm not going to log in on my end, but I will show you, right? So the website, it's Train. Right now it's a website. It's going to be in the Apple Store eventually. If their development, Apple development process kind of picks itself up a little bit, and doesn't drag their feet as much as they have. And it's Train, and I want you to write this down at home, players, coaches, whoever. It's train.legendsathletics.org, and we can put that in the chat bar, .org, and that takes you to where we're at here. Okay, so I'm not going to log into mine just yet, but obviously you guys don't have accounts yet. So when you get to this page, okay, you're going to click down here where it says don't have a Legends Athletic Performance account. Click here to view available options. I don't know where that really takes you to exactly, but what it's going to do is let's see if this will give me my password for this. Once you log in and create your account, it's going to take you to a page like this. Okay. And now, Drew, I'd like you to screen share from here, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Able to let me make you available to screen share. Does anybody have any questions so far? You can go ahead and unmute your mic right now if you'd like, if you have any questions, or you can go ahead and put it in the chat bar if you'd also like to do that. Let me see here. Yeah, so I'm going to stop my screen share there. And then, Drew, you should be able to go ahead and see now if you could share your screen. Do you have that option? Okay.
We're all set. You guys can see clear, Coach Joe?
Yeah, we can see it okay.
Awesome. So let's just start with, we'll go to plans, right? So what you guys will be assigned to is CBA El Paso. We'll kind of keep it regionalized. So you guys, it's super easy. You guys will sign in. You'll see a calendar like Coach Joe's had, And on the calendar for week by week, there's going to be workouts, right? So let's get into, check out the plan for the first week when you guys do sign up. You'll see this, it's called, we got a general preparation phase 1, okay? And within that is every exercise that you have, it'll just be a calendar like you would see on your phone, Monday through Sunday. And when you click on Monday, more times than not, there's going to be a strength, that's going to be a strength day. All right. Tuesday may be an active recovery or speed day. Wednesday will be a strength day. Thursday might be a Mira Tuesday. And then Friday will be a strength day. And then Saturday and Sunday, so forth. So within each workout, you're going to see individual exercises. If you guys have ever been to a gym, we like to create blocks. So think about block A, block B, block C. They all have a purpose within the workout. Before the workout begins, you guys will always have some kind of foam roll series. I'll click on it for you. And here's just a quick little flow. And you guys will click on the exercise, and then you'll see what's going on here. So this is just, if you have any questions, you guys have the access to just type in the app questions you may have. So we always start a workout with some kind of foam roll or self-myofascial release to make sure we have good muscle tissue quality, okay? Once we go through our foam roll series, then we're gonna go into a dynamic warm-up, something similar to what you guys would do when you get to the ballpark or before a practice, a hitting session, whatever it may be. And once again, click on the name of the exercise, and it's a link to the video that you'll be performing for that day. So here's a hip 90-90 mobility circuit. You'll click on it. You'll see how the exercise is set up. There'll be how many reps you guys will perform. And then if there's any exercise description or notes that I think that will be a benefit to you guys, I'll write that in there. So this is what the workout will look like, and it'll be a little more clear when you guys sign in. You'll see that you could look at the reps distance, if there's a distance that's necessary for the exercise given, time, reps, weight, rest in between, right? So it's pretty black and white. So this is day 1. We'll scroll down, and as you can see, this is block A. And this is the first movement you guys will do, which is gonna make time slow down a lot because it looks a lot harder than it is. But so for instance, our A1 is an isometric lunge hold. So right there, you'll see your first exercise, you'll perform it, and then you go right to the next exercise. You got 4 here in this block. Iso lunge holds, followed by single leg glute bridge, an isometric prone hamstring hold, and a side plank. Don't worry about the names of them. Watch the videos. They'll make sense. And you can see that right next to the iso lunge hold is number 4. That stands for how many times you're going to go through that. So once you do isometric lunge hold, you then go to the exercise right below it. You do that. Then you go to the exercise right below that. Finish with the side plank, and then we go back to the isometric lunge hold, and we'll have 4 sets of this, okay? And then to the right of that, there's a dash, and then there's some numbers. That's gonna just identify how long we're holding these positions for, 30 seconds, 45, 30, whatever it may be for that exercise. And then the second strength block for that same day, so after you do that little block of exercises 4 times, you'll go right below, and then there's another set of 4 to 5 exercises displaying different movements, but the same intensities and reps. It's time and it's amount of sets you have, okay? So that's just a little bit of idea on day 1, and then day 3 is gonna mirror this, right? So that this will all appear on your program, on your calendar. So once you guys get started, you'll see that you could click on this, and it'll actually send you can get notifications on workouts. You could set that up to your phone. You could have that calendar scheduled to your phone, so it kind of gives you a little bit of a heads up, like, hey, there's a workout scheduled for the day. Like I mentioned earlier, guys, the beautiful part about this is, like I said, everyone has different schedules and things going on. If you miss there's no specific time that you have to work out. So, if you aren't able to get in the workout in the morning, no problem. Just go to your app, click on the day, and that workout's still going to be there for you to view and complete whenever you're ready to do so. Okay, so we'll go back to the home screen. So that's kind of how the workouts will be. We'll have something week by week set up for you, and it'll appear just on a regular calendar. You'll click workout, and then boom, it'll be kind of straightforward. You'll click on the videos. You'll see how many sets you have, how many reps you have, the time or distance you may be traveling. Just want to show you guys as well, we all have assessments. So once you guys sign up, you can see here, we have a coach athlete interview. So this is an opportunity for us to kind of get to know you guys. What are some things you do outside of let me open it for you so you can see. So these are some questions, what's your sport activity? Obviously, I know you guys play baseball, but you might be a multi-sport athlete, and that's really good information for us to know. What other activities do you enjoy? All right, probably Fortnite. Let's lessen that. What are you currently doing for training or fitness? Are you doing anything, right? So this is important for us to know so we could complement that if you are going to see a pitching coach, going to see a hitting coach, or you're doing speed and agility work. Are you right or left-hand dominant? And then we start to get into some goals, okay? What do you really want out of this? Bigger, faster, stronger, for sure. But there's deeper layers to this. Do you want to play in high school? Do you want to play Division I? Do you want to play Major League ball, right? So we want to start to identify where you want to go with this, and then we could get specific. Hey, I throw 80 miles an hour now, and by XYZ time, I would love to throw 85. Or 90, whatever it is, right? We could kind of start to paint that picture of where we're going, all right? And then it asks a little bit about some of our hydration habits and making sure we're getting in at least 8 water bottles a day, if not more. If we see something where you're putting 2 there, well, then we know that, okay, let's reach out to Coach Joe. He's only getting 2 water bottles a day. That's not sufficient. Make sure we give him reminders that he needs to get at least 8. And then it starts to ask a little bit about eating habits, what we generally eat for breakfast, lunch, what do we snack on most commonly, dinner, stuff like that. And then we finish with sleep, making sure we're getting our 8 hours of sleep in. These are all just starting points for us to get to know who's in front of us. So it allows us to personalize this. So we're not just making exercises and stuff for people who we don't completely have no idea who you are. No, we're figuring out who's in front of us, what they enjoy, what are they currently doing, have they ever done anything ever in their life, which if you haven't, that's fine. At least we know who's in front of us and who we're working with. And then let's go back real quick. So that's what we call a coach athlete interview. And then we'll have an injury history report. So it's really important for us to see, have you suffered any injuries? We hope not, but we're athletes and that's the nature of the sport. So you'll let us know to what joint or region of the body maybe that you have had injuries and what severity, right? Whether it's your right or left side. You get to elaborate right here on that. Were you ever restricted in sporting activities ever? Or any illness or medical conditions that we should be aware of. And then you'll fill it out, you'll hit submit, and it'll go straight to us. So we have that data to collect and analyze. And then there's going to be more assessments like this. For instance, we call it the overhead squat assessment. We'll go into it, and it gives us a little breakdown. I give you a how-to video. So in this video, you'll click on it, and it'll start to load. And then we'll go through what actually is an overhead squat assessment. So once to us, and then we could check out how your overhead squat is, which gives us so much feedback on how you level change or squat. So once you upload your video, right now the app is soon to be up and running. Once the app is up, you'll be able to upload it from just your phone, your iPhone, your Android, or just upload it to your computer and just plug it in there so we have video of you doing your overhead squat assessment. As far as other stuff goes, we have other ways to monitor what's going on. We have measurement reports, so just to track what's going on, the volume of activity that we're giving to you guys and you're inputting, right? So there's got to be accountability on your guys' side as well to enter in the weights you may be using, how long you did some of your exercises for, so we could start to identify, hey, this is what we did this week, and we could kind of alter the following week's plan. And you could also let us know, hey, that's way too heavy, way too light, too long, too short. So it's really interactive, and we're able to, through this platform, communicate with you guys on just about anything, on top of the fact that we'll be meeting twice a month on Zoom as teams or as just a region, whatever we come up with, what works best for you guys, to make sure that, hey, we're following the app, we understand what's going on, is there issues, what is it, and then we could solve that problem moving forward, just to make it a great experience for both users. So I'll hand that back over to you, Joe, Coach Joe, if you want to share your screen for anything.
No, there was a question a couple minutes ago from Carlos Ramirez. Can it be modified? I'm sure he's referring to the workout. Can it be modified in case there's an injury?
Yes, as long as you guys communicate with us, like, hey, we got something going on here in the shoulder, hip, knee, ankle, whatever it may be. Yes. So once the athlete or coach communicates via the app and you just send a message, we'll be able to modify on that front. We want to we promote that. Let us know if there's anything going on, so we could better help you guys get out of that discomfort and make sure we avoid any injuries.
Okay. And now, in addition to the training provided here, there is going to be follow-up at least twice a month with players, coaches in this program with Drew, through a Zoom meeting just like this, where there's going to be interaction between, basically coach and player, which we do want to promote more of. I want to encourage the players to start providing more feedback, especially with their coaches, that are on the ground over there and that are running your practices, that are doing your instruction, but also with us through these workshops or through these meetings that we happen to have, because this is all for your guys' benefit, right? And so if there is a breakdown in communication, not just from our side, but if there's a breakdown in communication from the player athlete side as well, where they're not asking enough questions, or they're not, they may have something like a concern, I'd like them to bring that to those follow-up, meetings that we host between Drew and the athletes, so, and the coaches that are over there too. So,
and Coach, before I forget, I'm not sure if any of you guys have this question, but a lot of often questions or common questions that we do get, or, hey, what if I don't have that piece of equipment? What if I don't have this? We understand right now you may not have a tremendous amount of equipment, so the first couple of weeks of this will be, as best as we can, make this body weight. We'll do our best to use time and positional holds and sprint work and stuff like that to supplement for not having access to a tremendous amount of equipment right now. And then we'll make sure we figure out how to solve that problem moving forward, if it even becomes a problem.
Well, and if this is something, and I know that Richard and Ruben are here, and we've talked about just getting some equipment for one day a week for them, so that as a group they can do their workouts together under the supervision with with the coach or instructor there, to operate, to basically run your programming and the training that we're offering for them. And just to be able to provide, obviously we're not going to have, high, heavyweight stuff out there on the field or wherever we're doing this stuff right away, because this is more foundational than anything right now. until we can start gathering the basic strength and movements that they need to get, to move on to, bigger and better, so to speak. But when we get to that point, we will be able to provide, that area with the appropriate equipment that they need to run, good team strength training, more than adequate strength training, and definitely better than what's available, in most areas. So, this is something where we all work together to make sure that the guys are constantly progressing, and doing what they need to do. And for me, and I tell our players all the time, I'm still 5'9" on a great day, when the moon is directly above us and I got a little gravitational pull going up.
Stop lying, dude. 5'4".
5'4". And, oh, your microphone works now. That's funny. But, I was able to play, longer than I should have had I not paid attention to this aspect of my game. For me to be able to get stronger and definitely faster, as a high school athlete, that put me in a completely different category as to who was recruiting me, what my ceiling was, as far as, I went from being, okay, he's going to be a pretty good college player, to, okay, he's playing Division I baseball somewhere and probably will play some professional baseball. So it's just the physicality of the athlete here. Baseball, the baseball player it should be of utmost importance. It makes fundamental play so much easier. If I move better, I make more plays. That's just the way it is. If I move better, I hit the ball harder. I become more mobile. I become more obviously stronger, a little bit more fast twitch. The game just comes a lot easier, and it slows down. So it's not a matter of when I do hit the ball, I hit the ball harder or further, right? But it is a matter of, giving our players the best opportunity to let the game just come a little bit easier every time, every week, every month, as long as they're continuing to hold themselves accountable over these types of workouts. And we can see, Drew, correct me if I'm wrong, we can see if they're not performing their workouts, correct?
Yeah, we have the capacity to go in and see if each individual user is checking off their boxes, so to speak. So, maybe, Coach, if we could pick a captain for each team that would kind of just, keeps everyone in check and asks everyone, and if that has to be me or another coach, just to weekly, hey, what are we guys doing for workouts? How have they been going? Things like that, because I just feel like if we could start to build that culture where we hold each other accountable, it's only going to help yourself out and everyone around you, and it just make for not only is everyone going to progress and grow, but you all get to do it together. And when you guys do get out on the field, it'll be special and evident.
Right. And that's something we can do, but at the end of the day, players on this, that are on this call are, old enough to be able to do this stuff on their own. They want to be good. I've been around a lot of them already, and just talking to them and interacting, I know they want to be good, so I know that they'll do what they need to do to kind of do that. Obviously, it helps if you have somebody else holding you accountable too, which I think the coaches there will do a good job with, and organize that however they need to. But other than that, if parents or players, you guys have any questions, feel free to unmute. You're welcome to unmute and ask now before we log off, or you can put it in the chat bar if you don't feel like talking. There's a little chat room here as well, where you're welcome to ask, type in your question, or if you're concerned about anything at all, feel free. Pedro, you got anything besides ridicule for me?
No, what Drew said, some good stuff. We've started this a few months ago with James Batten over here. He's got his own facility. So what we're doing is kids go once a week for an assessment, and then he rides out an individualized plan for each player. So it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, same stuff. And so, the strength and athleticism goes a long way, which is why, and especially during the times we live in now, there's only so much we could focus on recruiting wise, that it's really hard to do a whole lot, but we can use this as an opportunity with lack of recruiting type events or recruiting resources that we can take advantage of. We can use this time now to really just focus on development and strength and stuff like that, which we should always be focusing on anyways. But this is the best time to launch something like this and get everybody on the same page. So, Ruben or Richard, you guys have any questions? Are you guys even there?
You know what, Joe? I do have a question. So these kids, like all the players, are they gonna, like, they should have their own, like, I guess their phone, so they can do their workouts instead of like this information going to the parents or anything like that? Or how is it these guys are supposed to get this information? They're supposed to just log on, or?
Yeah, you log in. You basically go to the link is in the chat room right here, right? I'll type it in. You go there, you create your profile. The parent and the player can both have access to the same profile as long as they know the login information.
Okay.
So, I mean, parents are more than welcome to look at that, and you know, if that helps to hold the player accountable, you know, great. Hopefully it clicks eventually for them, and they don't need that parent, you know, watching over them. But yeah, both of you guys can have the same access to the same information. Yeah.
And Coach, just to add to that, there'll be accessibility via the computer or the phone. So whatever option works best within the next week or so, it should be live on the App Store. So you'll be able to go into the App Store that you have on your phone, whether it's the Android or you have an iPhone, and just download. You'll see the logo, Legends 365, and you'll be able to sign in just like you would from the desktop.
And if for some reason that's not live in the App Store, you just go to your browser and then type in the website, and then it'll bring up the same stuff. So, Yep.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome. Anybody else got anything? Okay. But yeah, so that's the basic gist of it all. This is built. This will be built so it's progressive. So, you know, the guys that are entering in now will receive, you know, obviously the foundational work that they're getting now, and then they'll continue to progress. Whereas let's say a player joins 2 months from now, that player isn't necessarily going to receive, you know, that player is going to have to begin his foundational work first, right? He's going to go into phase 1 or whatever we want to call it, you know, before he you know, advances to the next stuff. So this is built so that it is individualized, and it's geared towards every athlete, so that they're not jumping into somebody who's, or jumping into a workout with a group who's in phase 3 or 4, but you know, they still haven't finished their foundational work to make sure that they're strong enough to move on. So,
Coach, we just got a question from Pete. Is that Coach Pete?
I believe so. Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Equipment do you suggest we start getting the players to get for their initial workouts? So I would start somewhere with, you know, a med ball, like something to work on power. It's super versatile. You could do a lot of things with it. And then and if you want to take my contact number or get it from Coach Joe, I could send you a little bit of like a short list to start with, something that's going to be financially feasible, with maybe some kind of band stuff or arm care, maybe some mini band stuff or some hip activation stuff before a workout or a practice. And then we could discuss further, you know, budgets and if you have availability for some free weights. So Coach Pete, if you want to get my number from Coach Joe and reach out, we could definitely elaborate on that a little more.
Thank you, Drew.
Absolutely.
Okay. Anybody else? Parents, players probably tuned us out a long time ago. Okay. Drew, you have anything to add before we sign off?
I'm just really excited for you guys, and I think this is going to be a really good platform for you guys to have 365 days out of the year you basically have a personal coach with you and carry along with you wherever you are. And we, like Coach mentioned earlier, that's the X factor. That's going to allow you to get to the next level, not only physically, but mentally. And if you've seen any other CBA teams out there, they're pretty physical, and that's just a small part of why they do have a really good name. And please just feel free to reach out and don't hesitate to ask any questions you may have. And this game isn't easy. There's going to be a lot of hard work and effort put in to grow and to excel at this game. And this is just one of the parts to help you guys get to the next level. And I'm excited to get started with you all.
Perfect.
So Joe, I do have somebody that just texted me a question. A parent did.
Okay.
So when are we supposed to register for the Legends 365 app? That's what they're asking, or
Okay.
register, I guess, an account.
So if they're playing with CBA over there and they've registered with CBA, it's included in those monthly dues. So generally they would get started as soon as they create this app. I would like to do this all together. Maybe we'll just say a week from now on Monday. Everybody that is involved in the program now can just get started with that with the training now. And as long as they're registered with CBA in that area, they're good to go. And it's not the junior option, right? It's not the youth option. It's the regular training option, the regular membership option that we have in that area.
And parents, can you all please ask questions right now? This is Coach Spears. I hate for you guys to get off right now, and then I'm going to get all these texts and phone calls and asking me a bunch of questions that I'm not going to have the answers to. So parents, please have at it. Please ask Coach Spears any questions regarding this.
Yeah, now's a very good time. We have obviously Coach Drew. We have some of the other CBA coaches that are in the North Texas area as well. We're all trying to work together to make sure that everybody in the program is receiving what they need. Sebastian Lazoya, how soon do we need the equipment? That's Sebastian's mom. So I would say next Monday if possible, but what kind of equipment do we need for the first week?
The first week is nothing. No equipment needed outside of a foam roller. If you don't have one, I just recommend you guys, each player have their own. Just you can have it forever and your parents could use it. It's something very beneficial for flexibility, mobility purposes. And so as far as next week goes, no equipment. We'll have more of positional isometric holds. No equipment needed for next week. Moving forward, we would like to start implementing some things, but we'll communicate with coaches to see what the status is of that and make the necessary adjustment.
Yeah. Okay.
Quick question on the foam roll. Is it the one that has the little knobs on it, or does it have to be plain?
Both get the job done. If you got the little knobs on it, God bless you. That's a tough one right there, but that's a good one.
Yeah, it is a tough one.
And they're not very expensive. How much do foam rollers cost? $20-$30?
If that, you can get some for $17 to $23, and it'll get the job done. But like I said, it's something that you guys could, if you want to get the 16-inch or 18-inch one, you could bring it to games, practices, trips. So it'll be something that you guys will learn, it's a love-hate relationship, but you guys will appreciate it.
Anybody else right now? Anybody else? Because if nothing comes to mind right now, these type of follow-up meetings will be coming into play. After after week 2, is that right, Drew?
Yes.
After week 2, so that we're able to continually, just give you the feedback and get that feedback from you guys actually, but to continually give you guys that information and see. And this is that will be for the players, so that will be for the athletes. Obviously, the parents and the coaches are able to tune in, but that'll be primarily for the players so that they can ask whatever questions they need to. So, all right. What we got? Ruben, we good?
I am up to now.
Do you have any questions, Ruben?
I probably will. I know the parents are going to have questions, and I'm going to forward them to you.
Oh, wait. Thanks, parents.
They always have questions I don't have answers to.
I know, which is why this is the perfect time right now.
That's why I'm saying, parents, please open up right now.
Richard, anything else? Coach Pete, anything?
I think everyone's good. They pretty much, you guys explained everything good. I'm excited to get all these players on this program. I mean, that's a game changer for every kid out here that are not used to doing anything like that. So, I mean, I think it's going to be great, man. And thank you guys.
Yeah, and if
Thank
guys
you.
are consistent with this, you'll see a change. They'll feel a change, and you'll see a change in them sooner than later, right? So the guys that are kind of, maybe not sticking to the plan, they'll fall off eventually because they won't. It's just really hard to keep up as with the talent around you as they get more physical and you stay the same. So, okay. All right. Well, that sounds like that's pretty much it. Parents, players, thanks for taking the time. I know we pushed this off a couple times just to make sure we had a good enough group to be on here and explain it one time and not have to explain it multiple times. But, coaches over there in El Paso, thank you guys for rallying and getting this together. With California getting shut down over here, you might see a lot more of me. So I might be coming out. I might be moving in with Coach Richard. So appreciate you all. Go CBA. Go Drew. Woo. And and yeah, we'll be in contact, and I'll be seeing most of you guys soon. Thank you all. See you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Drew.